Alright, so uh, I'm reading David Benatar's book, and it's about his University of Sheep Fucking, or uh, what's it called? But and it gives me additional arguments and evidence for what's wrong with him. And I see some of the same in myself, like this kind of like autism, like some kind of like uh, focus on irrelevant uh, information. And there was this student, I heard about this case before, but there was this student who like bullied and harassed him, and it seems she had a good reason to do so. He tells the story that he had a course with her, and then at one point she signed a paper that she had attended the class, and then later she left, and then he unsigned that because she had left. That kind of like. I mean, if I got 8.5 years of university exams passed. And if teacher had done that with me, I would have, that would have been brutal. I would have done the same as her. Like, I mean, what kind of like insane nitpicking is that? So he was like bullying and harassing her for no reason. He could have just let her sign and leave. I mean, who cares? It's the public sector. You heard the Pink Floyd song, "Hey teacher, leave those kids alone. You're just another brick in the wall." So I mean, I just having met the guy, and knowing about his background, he's just got the job in the first place because of family, because his father Solomon worked there, and also he's a pretty good looking guy. At one point he writes in the book, his new book, he writes, somebody should look me in the face or something, like look me in the face and the eyes or something. And that comes from a person who, like Andreas Moss, by the way, doesn't show his face online and refuses to be photographed. You have no privacy in public. That's I mean, he claims to know the law, but so he but obviously he doesn't. He's full of shit. I mean, he doesn't respect the law. He's he's really a lot like me, actually, because and we're certainly both anti-natalists. But I mean, that guy, he's a psychopath. I'm not a psycho. I'm an empath. He's a psychopath. It's kind of sad. I mean, you obviously. I mean, he's not as bad as many Danes. Also, like some of this. I mean, it's just unbelievable. He's so full of shit in that book. It's called The Fall of UCT. Something about freedom of speech. I mean, he's so full of shit. It's just unbelievable. It's a really funny read, and it's all like written like better never to have been. Like he's some kind of like using the same structure and stuff. And I don't know if he's some kind of like gay lover with Fleming Rose or something. Fleming Rose, sorry, Fleming Rose. Now I pronounced it wrong. Also, he criticized something for calling him Rose Fleming, but I mean, yeah, all right, yeah. I mean, he's just so hypocritical. Uh, his name is Fleming Rose. He's pronouncing the name wrong as well. But uh, yeah, I don't know if they're somehow like gay lovers or something. I mean, he was hanging out with some Danish academic when he visited Denmark. Like going to the cemetery where I used to live nearby where I used to live in Copenhagen and stuff. I don't know. I mean, what they were doing at digging up Hans Christian Andersen and Søren Kierkegaard or something, and yeah, whatever. But okay, now I totally lost my train of thought. Uh, well, oh yeah, Fleming Rose. Firstly, all Danes, almost all Danes, especially the inbred, uh, pig fucking white trash, ethnic Danes, they're all Islamophobic. They're all racist, Islamophobic trash. And Fleming Rose is obviously he's an average little cheese munching fuck Dane. So of course he's racist and Islamophobic. Then he at one point he writes Denmark is not Nazi Germany. I mean that's like Shakespearean, like Hamlet says Denmark is not a prison. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark, and Denmark is a prison. And Denmark is one of the worst dungeons in the world. Uh, So he says Denmark is not Nazi Germany. No, no, it's worse than Nazi Germany. What the fuck does he know about Denmark? He's been here like for a week or something. I don't know how many times. He was here for a week or something. I don't know if he'd been here before, but and also it was compared to the Rwandan uh, genocide, which was indeed horrific. I can imagine, like, because I watched so many reality news and stuff, horrible, those kind of like. But I mean, that goes on all the time anyway. But yeah, it must have been terrible. Yeah. With a lot of machete kills and stuff. That happens anyway every day. Uh, Also with cartels and stuff. And like necktie burnings and I mean standard practice punishment in the favelas and in the cartels and in Africa and some parts of Africa. It's burning the hands, decapitation, lynching, and so on. It's I mean, cutting off the hands. It takes place all the time, not only during the Rwandan genocide, but anyway, Denmark is much worse than that, and Flemming Rose is a piece of shit. Jyllandsposten is a fascist. The newspaper Jyllandsposten is a fascist newspaper, and even idiots like Richard Dawkins understood that in the God Delusion he writes that the Mohammed cartoons was a hoax. The whole story is a scam and a hoax. Uh, which reminds me why I don't support David Benatar anymore. And really, this student, female student, she was called something like BC or something. Really weird name. Something like, yeah, and a long weird name. But yeah, I should join her but of course he doesn't have, I mean, he would of course not have any chance going up against me. But uh, also there would be nothing to go up against because yeah, because I understand freedom of speech. I understand the law and around surrounding. Oh my God, there's a big star outside. Wow. Whoa. The star is visible in the morning. Wow. Wonder what that is. If it's a planet or what it is. Hmm. That's that's a really big star. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, how can there be any more damage than Benatar talking bullshit about the pandemic and saying that people shouldn't be allowed into universities if they're not if they don't get the get the anal shot. I mean, how can anyone do any more damage than he already did to himself by that? I mean, you can't do any more damage. And so this is a piece of shit who this is a piece of trash who talks about like roadkill. Don't You should respect roadkill. Don't eat roadkill because you wouldn't eat human roadkill. So he claims to have that much respect for life. But he thinks it's all right to this um, current atrocity taking place. Oh yeah, I'm cool with that. He's down. I mean, he is down. I'm not. He is down with that. He's cool with that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, total clown world. Turn the world into a fucking retarded clown world with a retarded excuse. Yeah, that's cool. Uh, so So we really have this like totally. I mean, I don't know how South Africa is. I can imagine like growing up as white, they probably have like a funny, healthy, humor about it. Uh, so yeah, I never really understood why is it negative to be racist at all? Why is that something negative? I don't really understand that. In terms of my family fled from the Nazis. Almost all. There was one guy who got to Theresienstadt and was starving in Theresienstadt, but almost all my family managed to escape. But why even escape? Why not just fight? I mean, you could just fight. It's only if you're not a pro-mortalist, if you really think it has. I like my piece of sentient meat, I like my piece of flesh that I'm controlling around, so much. So, yeah, I would never, learn martial arts or learn to defend myself or stockpile weapons or anything. I mean, it's only because these pieces of shit procreated and so they couldn't defend themselves properly and just were lazy and so on. So I don't really see the so-called I mean that kind of persecution that took place October 1943. I don't see that as racist. I see it more as just I mean you could just stand up against bullying. Just get some weapons. Learn to defend yourself and so on. Don't procreate. Don't create targets for them to attack and so on. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway. Yeah, the book really highlights what a piece of shit Benatar is. Uh, uh, yeah, it's really funny. Really like also a bit like Bobby Fischer, like this hysterical attention to detail. So his alleged veganism and empathy with animals is, of course, total bullshit. Because he doesn't have empathy with the non-vaccinated. So he's just a hypocritical piece of trash.